Alright, so I'm here with your 2011, my bad, 2011 Money in the Bank review, in which I thought was a good quality show. Of course, this was a famous thing where Punk and Cena and Punk left and whatever, but that wasn't the only thing that was good. I mean, there was more good things, especially the Money in the Bank matches, which were good on this show. So we get the show started off with the Money in the Bank World Heavyweight Championship ladder match. This was a good match, good quality match here. Bryan ends up winning it. I'll give it 3.5 out of 5 stars. There was also a couple good spots in here. For example, the power bomb through the ladder of Sin Cara. I mean, that's still a famous moment today. I think Sheamus got fined like 30 days or suspended 30 days for that. Why would you suspend somebody for that? You know, he's just trying to put on an entertaining match and you suspend him for it. It's just like when Bryan and Orton got suspended for hitting themselves with steel chairs in the head. It's like, why would you suspend them for it? They're just trying to be entertaining. But I felt this was a good quality match, pretty entertaining, and cool to see Bryan win there too because he definitely deserved it. Then we get Kelly defeating Brie Bella. Not really that good a match to give it a star out of 5. There was some good moves in here, but there was also a couple botches, and you come to expect that in Divas matches. So I mean, botches, but not as much. So I'll say that, like in the past few months, I don't think there's been like an abundance of botches. I don't think in the Divas matches in the past few months, but I mean, traditionally the Divas do have way more botches than the men. But and yeah, I believe there was 2 botches in here, so not really that great a match. Then Mark Henry defeats the Big Show. I give it 2.5 out of 5 stars. I'm just looking back towards this match. There's like so much like more athletic in I think back in 2011. I fast forward 3 years later, they seem more fat and slow. Um, like they were doing some more athletic moves. I think. Um, top rope moves. I believe they did some of those too. Mark Henry drop kicking the steps into Big Show. So I mean, there was some good moves in here. I'll give it 2.5 out of 5 stars. And also because of the ending was kind of cool with Big Show getting his ankle broken. I guess it was kind of a cool moment there as well. Then we get the WWE Championship Money in the Bank ladder match. I'll give it 3.5 out of 5 stars. There was some hard hitting moves in here. Also a cool move. Evan Bourne doing airborne onto everybody off the ladder. Pretty cool move there. And Del Rio ends up winning the briefcase. So I mean, all in all, a pretty good match. Quite like the first one. I'll give it 3.5 out of 5 stars. Quality match. Some entertaining moves in here, especially the Evan Bourne move was a cool move. So yeah, there you go. There's your oh, and some also brutal moves too. Miz took a bump too. I don't know if that was a legitimate injury or not. And also Swagger, it was somebody's Swagger and somebody else fell off the ladder, took a pretty hard bump. I think it might have been Kofi. They took 2 hard bumps off the ladder too, so it was a hard hitting match as well. Then Christian defeats Orton. I'll give it 3 out of 5 stars. Everybody says Christian and Orton put on great matches. I haven't seen really one great match between Christian and Orton. This one was, I mean, the thing that made it, I thought, the reason I'm giving it 3 out of 5 stars, if it wasn't for those 2 RKOs at the end off the table, I probably would have given it 2.5. I mean, I guess there was some good moves in there, but I didn't see how this is great. They don't work great together, I don't think. I mean, yeah, there was some good moves and shit. I mean, it was okay, and accompanied with the 2 RKOs after post match. I mean, together, I mean, it's 3 out of 5 stars, but nowhere near a great match, I don't think. And they had the stipulation there where Orton, if he gets disqualified, wins. So he kicked Christian in the ball sack, and then Christian wins the match. And then we get CM Punk defeating John Cena, which was a really great match. And I wouldn't say the match, the wrestling wise, was that great, but just the whole story behind it and the whole storyline made it, I'll give it 4.75 out of 5 stars. The only reason I'm not giving it 5 is because I felt the match could have been better. I mean, especially the first half of the match, there was a ton of rest holds, ton of slow moves. It did pick up at the end though. There was some good moves in there, and again, the storyline behind it was just great. But yeah, I mean, I was looking for more as wrestling quality goes, because the wrestling quality wasn't that great. It wasn't horrible. I'm not saying it was far from horrible, but it wasn't that great. But overall, I mean, the storyline in him leaving and Vince McMahon and just everything about that storyline was really good. But yeah, I mean, the wrestling, if you go back and watch that match, there had to be like fucking like 5 or 6 rest holds, 7 rest holds. I mean, it was ridiculous with the rest holds. But overall, I mean, there was a lot of good moves in there too as well. You know, uh, 2 kickouts to the Attitude Adjustment. Um, there was a cool move where Cena was like on the ring apron and Punk hit him with a knee. I mean, there was a few. There was some cool moves in there, but there was also some botches as well. I mean, off the AA, Punk was supposed to land on his feet, but landed on his ass. Also, Punk was doing a crossbody and he landed on Cena's legs instead of his actual body and torso area. So I mean, the wrestling really wasn't that great, but just the story behind it, which is what made the whole fucking match pretty much, and him just walking out and leaving. And I believe he took a picture of the title in his fridge afterwards. So I mean, the whole storyline again was just fucking really great and exciting. Something that WWE lacks nowadays, excitement, you know. And it seemed real too. I mean, it kind of was real. I heard Punk sign during the middle of the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. I believe he said that on his DVD. But I mean, it still was like a very genuine storyline, as opposed to nowadays where everything's like 100% scripted. And they don't even let the people say their own promos. You know, the promos have leaked, and I'm pretty sure those are authentic. Or the scripts have leaked, and I'm pretty sure those are authentic. And they have to say everything like word for word, literally. It's ridiculous. Let them speak their own mind. Let it be more genuine. It just seems so scripted and fake nowadays. Where you get Nikki Bella and Brie Bella can't even fucking act. Can't even make it seem like they're, it's fucking real life. They're just fucking can't even act for shit. So there you go, people. Overall, I give this show I'll give it 8.5 out of 10 stars, I guess. I mean, it's just a very good pay-per-view, very quality pay-per-view. I wouldn't call it a 10-star pay-per-view. I mean, pretty much to call it a 10-star pay-per-view, in my opinion, everything's got to be like spot on. Everything's got to be like just great. There's got to be a few great matches on there. And I only found one great match on there, and that was Punk Cena. Two quality Money in the Bank matches, a quality Orton thing, Orton and Christian. Henry and Big Show was alright. And the Divas match was pretty bad. So there you go, people. And again, this was a requested video, requested pay-per-view. If you have any other requested pay-per-views, next one I'm going to be getting to is Uncensored. I believe it was a WCW pay-per-view 1995. But if you have any other requested pay-per-views, let me know in the comments or ask me on Twitter at WWEHeelPunk. It might take a while to get to them. These are the ones I gotta do. ECW Uncensored 95, Unforgiven 2006, and SummerSlam 2002. So I'm gonna do WCW Uncensored next. Then probably I'll do Unforgiven, and then I'll do SummerSlam. So if you I said this before, I'm trying to do one every 2 weeks. One pay-per-view review every 2 weeks. So there you go, people. Leave your comments if you have a pay-per-view review to do. Again, if I don't get to it in like a month, it's because I have more pay-per-view reviews to do. But don't hesitate to ask. It might take a while, but I will eventually get to your pay-per-view review. And if you have any other video requests, like just a normal wrestling requested video to do, anything sports, pop culture, entertainment, whatever, let me know in the comments below, because I will do it for you guys. So there you go, people. There's your Money in the Bank review.